G'day Jafffa Adventures, Terry King here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to another episode of our Landcruiser 200 maintenance series. Today is going to be a super short video on a maintenance item that's often overlooked, and to be honest, I never even had this particular item before I bought the 200 series. So let's check out what we're talking about. Today we're going to replace the cabin air filter in the car, and this is an often overlooked item. In fact, this is one of the first cars I've ever owned that's had a cabin filter, and I've only recently worked out how to replace them. And talk about dead easy, anybody can do this, and you should do it. To start off with, I've got a Westville item. I'm not purporting one brand or another. There's the part number there, if you're interested, and there's some more part numbers there. Let's open this thing up and see what a cabin filter actually looks like. That's it. It's no more complex than that. This particular one is semi-rigid and it is impregnated with activated carbon. There's only one thing to note on these, and that is the direction of flow. And it actually says on the filter itself the direction of flow, so you can't get it wrong. So why don't we hop into the car and we'll pull the old filter out and we'll pop this new sucker in. So we're in the passenger side of the vehicle. Open up your glove box, and when you do that, you'll see there's a little hatch in the back of the glove box. Now, more than likely, you're not going to have one of these units here. This is a Unichip unit, just to change my map on the Unichip. However, you will have this little flap here, and it is dead easy to pull down. It's got two clips here and here. You simply depress those clips and pull out at the same time, and that flap just falls down. You can take it actually out of there if you want to. I can't do that on mine because of that Unichip. Now what you see there is the vent, and what we've got to do is we've got to open up that vent to allow access to the filter cartridge. Now, because I've got the Handroid head unit, I've got electronic controls for my heating and ventilation system. But what you want to do is you want to cycle it here between fresh and recycle. And you can see when I push that button, that little flap opens up. Push the button again, that little flap closes. So that's all you do. You just toggle between recycle and fresh air to open up that vent to allow you to access the filter element. If you've got the factory head unit, you're simply going to toggle between the recycle and the fresh. Toggle, recycle, fresh. And that'll open up and close that flap to allow you to access that cabin air filter. So we've got it open. On the front of this filter are two detents. You pop those detents up, and then that filter simply lifts out. Just a little bit tricky doing it one-handed. But if you've got two hands, you'll get this done in 10 seconds. And there we have it. That's the clean side of the filter. That's the dirty side of the filter. Okay, we've got our dirty element, we've got our clean element, and you can see that this dirty element has got a plastic cage around it. We've got to keep that cage because that's the Toyota part that we use. And to take this filter out is so easy, it's not even funny. You simply compress it a little bit. And slide it out. And there it is. That filter is now removed. Now, before I take that away, remember we've got our flow direction marked on here. That side's the dirty side, so we know that the flow is going to be going through here this way, so we know that that filter is sitting in the proper direction. So we'll chuck our dirty one aside, double check our flow this direction, correct. We can now pop this in. Again, slide it under those two detents, squeeze it a little bit, slide it under the back two detents, And that's it. I mean, how simple is that? Okay, we're back in the car. We've got our unit and we're going, geez, how did that come out of here again? Simple. If you look on the filter unit itself, it's labeled. It says up. Here are the two detents, so we know that they go at the front. There's nothing on the back. So once again, you can't get it wrong. So we take our filter unit, you slide it back in, click it down, and that's done. That's installed. We then take our dash flap, and it's got 3 tangs on the bottom, here, here, and here. And those tangs tuck up behind these little cutout areas, here, here, and here. So you pop them in there, and then you push it until you hear it click. And that's it. Cabin filter is now reinstalled. So there we have it, folks. Can you get a more dead easy maintenance item than a cabin air filter? I don't think so. What happens when you do replace these units? Well, I found 2 outcomes. First of all, you get a fresher smell in the car. I don't know whether you noticed in your car sometimes when you fire it up after it's been sitting for a while, you get a sort of dusty smell. That disappears when you replace that cabin air filter. The other thing that happens is your HVAC system flows a lot more freely, so it's a lot more efficient. And I find the AC, for example, blows a lot colder when I've got this thing replaced. I haven't looked in the book to see what the replacement interval is on these filter units, but to be honest, I don't really care. Every time I go on a big trip, one of the items that are replaced when I come back is the in-cabin air filter, and it makes a world of difference. So that's it for this short maintenance item. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, guys. If you haven't seen some of the other simple maintenance videos, have a look in the library. There's 4 or 5 of them sitting in there, just handy tips on simple maintenance stuff that you can do yourself at home, and you should do. And as I said, you don't get any simpler than this. We didn't even need a tool to change this thing out, except myself maybe. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep the shiny side up. We'll see you next time. Bye now.